Hello, and welcome to Joe's Career Shack. I'm Joe, and today I'd like to talk about lighting, specifically three types that most keepers will use for their tarantulas, centipedes, scorpions, and other various arachnids. And those three lights will be your standard white light, a UV party light, or as it's also called, a black light, and then a third option that I don't think gets enough recognition or enough use in the hobby, and that would be the red LED light. Okay, now most of us know that white light, your tarantulas, your centipedes, your scorpions, they're going to run for the hills and they're going to hide in their burrows or under bark, and you're not going to see them. And at nighttime, it's going to be dark and you're not going to be able to see them. So let's talk about our options there. There are options. You can use, for like scorpions, you can use the black light or the UV party light to lightly illuminate them and find out where they are in their enclosure. This can be a safety factor too. You don't want to open that door of your enclosure and have that medically significant scorpion, stinger anywhere near you, right? Okay, so you take that black light and you shine it over the enclosure, and there he is, and you're not getting zapped. Okay, now let's talk about the red LED light and how we can use it. Did you know that the tarantulas and scorpions and a lot of different other insects cannot see in the red spectrum? Interesting to know, huh? Well, how does that affect this conversation? Well, like I use the red LED lights in my career shack here to illuminate the room at nighttime. The scorpions, the centipedes, tarantulas, and everything else come out of their hidey holes and burrows, whatever, and to them, they hardly perceive it to be more than a moonlit night or pitch dark. Now, I'll pop up a picture right now so you can see what the room looks like at nighttime with the red LEDs on. Okay, now, doesn't that look a little creepy? A little eerie? Well, but now you're going to be able to come out into your critter room, wherever you keep your critters, and be able to watch them, and they'll be moving about as if it's pitch dark. All that activity that you normally miss because it's dark and you can't see them. But that red LED light will light up the area enough that you'll be able to see them. It's not all that great for photography, and some of the detail you won't see, but how they behave and how they hunt their prey will be more natural. You ever watch these other content creators doing scorpion videos and they're like, they can't get the scorpion to eat? Well, because it's this big bright light down on them and they're like, oh heck, that's what they're doing. Okay, now that you have an idea how the red LED lights can be used in your enclosures to light things up, I'd like to show you the ones I use. This is the one I use, and I'm not getting any paid advertisement or any of that stuff. Just want to let you see what they look like. And I'll also add it in the description so that you can find them for yourself. They're pretty handy and they're inexpensive. All right, now let's jump back and talk about the UV party light or black light. This little guy. And how they can be used to keep you safe. But some of the precautions based on studies that have been done on black light exposure for your centipedes, tarantulas, etc. All right, let's talk about why I think it's probably a good idea to limit the exposure time your scorpions have to a black light. In a couple different studies I read, they indicated a possibility of some serious side effects. One being blindness, two being a molecular distortion of the chemical fluorescence that's in their exoskeleton that allows them to glow, and then that leading to an inability to properly molt and grow, which if they can't grow, they're going to die. So you should probably limit the exposure. These studies are not conclusive, but they're significant, hinting at these things being a major problem. I'm going to show you one technique that I use for using black light for the safety end of it. You know, just shining it on the enclosure so I know where the scorpion is, so I don't put my hand somewhere that I shouldn't and get a nasty surprise. I've seen a couple different creators get stung, and knock on wood, I've never been stung in 4 decades of working with scorpions, but I don't want to start tomorrow. So these are some of the things I do. I use a black light. I make sure I scan that enclosure to see where they're at. But when I'm doing the scan, I don't point the black light directly at them. I kind of point it up away from them so that it's just that, what would it be, just a little bit of the black light touches them and lights them up just enough so that I can see where they're at. Okay, by doing that, I'm limiting the exposure, and I'm limiting my exposure to a possible mishap. You can never be too cautious with medically significant scorpions. You don't want to get stung and find out. Alright, you can see that I'm using the red LED lights to light up the room. It works pretty neat. Now, in this frame, there are 2 scorpions. Let's see if we can spot them as I'm putting the black light across. Now you notice these scorpions are moving about. They're not hiding from the red light. They're not liking the black light, but they're not hiding. Alright, but we saw 2 scorpions. One here and one here. That's the benefit of using a black light before you ever put your hands anywhere near the enclosure. I still recommend using long tweezers, tongs, because these are medically significant. They will put a hurt on you. So be very careful with these scorpions. Any scorpion. Anaphylactic shock's like a lottery ticket. You never know when you're going to get it. So just use common sense and some caution, and you'll go a long ways in this hobby. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful and informative. That's certainly my intent. And at this time, if you could take a moment to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also drop those comments down below so that we can see any critter specific content that you would like to see in later videos. Well, till the next sting, this is the Critter Shack signing off. Have a great day.